where we are turning our focus back to the state Democratic convention. Governor Kathy Hochul announced Adrienne Adams as her running mate yesterday, but that move caused some uproar among some Brooklyn Democrats, including my next guest. The Brooklyn Democratic Organization withdrew its endorsement of Hochul's reelection bid. And joining me now from the convention in Syracuse to talk about why is State Assemblymember Rodneyse Bichotte-Hermelyn. She represents all or part of Flatbush, Ditmas Park, and East Midwood in Brooklyn, and she is also the chair of the Kings County Democratic Organization. Welcome back to the program. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and thanks for holding the mic there like a correspondent. The county organization, the executive committee, the Kings County Democrats endorsed Governor Kathy Hochul on Monday, and then a couple of days later rescinded that endorsement. What happened in between Monday and Wednesday?
Well, first I want to tell you that this is not about beef with the governor, nor it's any beef with her pick. This was about a down ballot risk, and it was about a change in processes and actually consulting with the largest Democratic county in the whole entire state that typically deliver the votes for statewide and citywide election. That was a concern that changed the minds and the votes of many of the members of the Brooklyn Democratic Party.
Well, explain that. Be a little more specific. What down ballot races are you talking about?
Well, you know, Brooklyn is a very complex and very diverse borough where in the past 4 years we lost 4 seats. We lost 3 assembly seats and 1 Senate seat. And there have been concerns in terms of making sure that there was a strong partner, a strong running mate. There were hopes that the running mate would be a Latino male in particular, especially not having or having a void of a Latino or Latinx representation on a statewide level. And that was a concern. And I know the governor has been looking for a strong running mate of Latinx descent, but it was quite surprising and very disappointing that didn't happen and the way it happened. So many of the members were a little bit concerned, given that they were not quite confident that this particular ticket would help regain some of the seats that we lost in the past. You know, it's very crucial and important to be very prudent and very strategic when finding a running mate that will really attract voters across the state of New York. Mm-hmm. We have one of the largest Hispanic, Latin voters in the state of New York,
okay.
And I think having a representation should have been really considered.
Let me cut to the chase because there's a lot of rumors that are flying around. Was your preferred choice as the running mate going to be Eric Gonzalez, the Brooklyn District Attorney?
Well, that was a choice that we were considering for sure. We had conversation with the DA. There were some concerns that they wanted someone to remain as a district attorney because it was a very substantive role. But even if he chose not to run or was not selected, there were many other options, I think, that would have attracted the voter base. Again, we're in the midterms. We're looking to get Congress. We're looking to get Hakeem Jeffries to be the majority speaker. Mm-hmm. And, you know, many of us want to make sure that, you know, in order to do that, we need a very strong ticket that would turn those voters our way.
Okay. We asked Governor Hochul about all of this today. I want to play for you what she had to say and then get your reaction.
New York is looking for a fighter at this moment in our history. I have found a strong woman, a woman who knows how to take it to the streets, a woman who knows how to fight back. So no one can question what Adrienne Adams brings to this fight in this moment of history right now. And so I look forward to continuing to work with the many allies and supporters we have in Brooklyn, and we'll move through this. People do what they do for their own reasons. I only focus on what's good for the state of New York, and what's good for the state of New York is having Adrienne Adams at my side.
Okay, your reaction.
Well, you know, I mean, I think that is the opinion of the governor, and it is in her right to choose who she feels is a good pick for her. But the concern is that she picked someone who, barely made 40,000 votes across the city of New York when she ran for mayor, ranking 5, and not even getting the support base of her own county and her own county leader. So it was just really surprising that to many that the governor had decided to go with someone who people are concerned that may not attract the voter base that we need to get to the level of turning some of these districts on a congressional level as well a state and assembly level to Democrat.
Okay, fair enough. I want to play or read to you, I'm sure you saw this on social media, City Councilwoman Crystal Hudson put out a message saying, quote, "Never has a black woman worked so hard to tear down other black women. The only political miscalculation is the one made by Chair Bichotte-Hermelyn." What is your response to that?
Well, I think she needs to consider what she's saying, because I'm a black woman, I'm a county leader, and I haven't gotten any real much support from the council member. So that is not true. I have supported many black women. I don't spend my time trying to tear down anybody. I am actually been called to nominate Tish James tomorrow, and I've selected many black women judges, nominated them, and have them endorsed in the judiciary as well as the electoral position. So, what is she saying is her opinion and false.
And I guess finally, with all of this back and forth, the endorsement, the rescission, the bad feeling within the party, how do you straighten all of this out in the context of this convention? I mean, how do you repair relationships? How do you restore, a sense that your organization is actually organized?
Right. Well, our organization is organized. It's not disorganized, which is why there was a meeting, because there were some concerns, and which is why many of the members want to abstain. Again, I want to make it clear that we have nothing against Hochul. We want her to win, but we want New York State to win. And we was hoping that her pick was a pick that New Yorkers felt confident in, and in winning not only the general election, but winning some of the seats that have put us in a position of vulnerability in Washington, D.C., and here in the state of New York.
What seats are you worried about in Brooklyn at this point?
Well, we have 3 seats that turned red in Sunset Park and Bensonhurst, over by Bergen Beach, Coney Island. These are seats that are now in the Assembly that are seated by Republicans. We also have a Senate seat, the first Asian Senate seat that was created, that is now being seated by a Republican. So these are seats that we want to turn because, down ballot seats are very important. They influence the seats, many seats that can really help us turn blue as it relates to the congressional seats.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now. And thank you for spending some time with us. Best of luck with the rest of the convention.
Thank you.
Okay.